everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Eve. This is Everyday Artist, and welcome. I almost forgot my name. This is Rogue. Say hi, Rogue. And this is going to be my last video of January. 2026 just started, and January is almost over. Now, I know many of you are in very cold weather. Stay warm. I hope you're safe and your power stays on. In Belgium, I lived through that. I know all kinds of things can happen. When I was in Belgium, it snowed for days without stopping, and our water froze and our heat froze, and it was a challenging thing, to say the least. And I know many people in northern climates here in the U.S. have it even worse, because it was Belgium, so it was a little further south. So south as far as further south than England. I know where Belgium is. Anyway, I'm here to talk to you about my stitching and my crochet, and yeah. Hi. Hello. You sit down. Come on. Sit down. So, I've completely forgot what I was going to say. Hank, you want to be in the video? You want to be in the video, Hank? Let's see. There he is. There's Hank. Oh, now they're going to start playing, which is quite loud. Sorry about moving the camera around. No. We're not playing right now. Right now we're making a video. Well, I apologize in advance of the dog noise, but Hank has learned to play. He came to us not even knowing how to play. We'd throw a toy for him and he'd look at it and go, "What do you want me to do with that?" We'd hand him a toy and he'd put it in his mouth for a minute and then just kind of drop it like, "What?" So when he asks for play, and I'm thrilled. Unfortunately, Rogue plays with her voice very active. Lie down. Lie down. Lie down. He's putting his paw on me. Look. Big giant paw. Lie down, Hank. Anyway, I'm going to start with my crochet. Okay, both of you get down. Both of you get down. I apologize. Let me stop the video. I think they're settling down. I want to show you my blanket first. I have finished all of the rows. Here's the top row of angels. Aren't they cute? And I finished them off with the cranberry like she did, because I thought that would be cute. But I had more white than of anything, because I had to buy more white to make the angels. So my border is in white. This is an inner border, not the border. And I am on my last row of border. And it goes all the way around. So all the way around the whole blanket. And then I'll do an actual border. Sorry. I'll do an actual border outside of that. And that is going to look like, it's not red and white, but kind of like a candy cane finish. I think it's quite beautiful, but it looks tedious. But my sister says, "You've done all this for this blanket. Go ahead and finish it that way or you'll regret it." So I will. And the other thing I've been working on is this market bag. And I've been working more on that because I'm anxious to get it finished. But this is how far I am so far. So about halfway done with this part. So then I have, to bring it back up for the other side, then make the handles. So it'll take some time, but that's okay. I'm doing this for pleasure, not for a job. I have so much yarn. I've got to find stuff to make that just uses up all the yarn I have, because I may make something like this that just uses whatever yarn I have. So we'll see. I've seen different patterns, you know, that you can use for doing that. You know, like, you know, you can do this in a scarf or shawl or whatever. And I may do that just crocheting a blanket. My grandmother used to do something similar. She had a favorite stitch that she used. It was a shell stitch. I call it a shell stitch. It wasn't what other people call a shell stitch. And I have a quilt made by her. Dogs are playing in the background, so if you're hearing growling, they're playing. Rogue has a toy, and she's teaching Hank to play, and Hank is chasing her with it. I may have to put them outside. Hold on, please. Okay. I don't want them taking that tug-of-war toy outside, but I'm going to have to find a toy that they can play with outside that I can clean once they get it filthy, you know. But, yeah, Hank is really wanting to play all the time. And Rogue she's like over 10 years old. We were trying to figure it out, and I'm not real good with dates and stuff, but she's up there. She's 11, 12 years old, and Hank is maybe 2 or 3. So Hank is a baby compared to her, and he wants to play all the time. And after a while, she'll go, and Hank comes to me and goes, because he doesn't know he can play by himself. Yeah, I'm going to fix this. I didn't adjust it right. I apologize again for moving me. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about my cross stitch. Wow. Last week you saw I made a second video because I really wanted to show that I had finished the edge of my blanket. I'm trying to fit this in with other stuff, and I just came back from errands and had to run out for another errand last time, so I was discombobulated. I don't remember if I showed you that I finished QB Snowman. This is by Charlene Blank of Tranquil Tree Designs. And I have all the squares done. This is just spacing, and I left the lines on it because I wanted to be sure I knew where the edge of the box was supposed to be. So, yeah, so now I have to decide how I want to finish that. I looked for blocks of the right size, and couldn't really find any that I didn't have to get 100 of them. So I'll think about that. I may just have them like individual squares dangling from each other, you know, like an ornament. I'm not sure. I did some more work, not a ton, but I did some more work on Owl Forest Embroidery. I don't know why I find that so hard to say. Cranes. And I finished the middle crane, and I started on some of the blue patterning. And that pattern is a booger. It's beautiful, but you have to really count. And you know, counting is not my strong suit. But the crane is so beautiful, I love it. I just kind of counted up from the nose and then went down, and I'm going to go down some more. So I started about here, not even at the top of that, but about here. I'll go down some more, And then I'll do like this one and this one and this one before I get to another grain. But this is all I'm gonna do probably, well, I have a few more days. It's only the 26th, so a few more days I might work on that. I also did work on Murder in the Garden by Hands-On Design. I had to do a lot of fixing. Oh, when I put it away last time, I was in the middle of something and I just kind of threw it away here. A thread in front. The threads seem very long, but they get used up very quickly, so this is the top of the design here. So I had extra thread from doing around, and so I went ahead and went around here. And I said, oh, now I can put in this. Yeah, I would have to count in between each of these, and I was like, I better not. You know, my counting is not my strong suit. So I'm going to have to do this loop on all of these designs before I switch to putting this on. I was anxious to stitch with a different color. However, that being said, I have to really be careful not to turn it and stitch this way and then turn it and stitch this way. I'm very tempted to just turn the fabric because I'm working on something little like that. So I have to be very cognizant of not doing that. I've done that before on patterns that were in a circle. Now the dogs are barking. I've worked on this a little bit every day. CrazzyStitch. We do Geek. And I am now on We Know the Answer to Life, the Universe, and Everything is 42. And I have we and a little bit of no. I'm still debating as to whether or not I need to backstitch around the Enterprise. Kind of don't want to, but it's kind of hard to see. Lastly, I want to show my temperature charts. The first one being finishing up Under the Sea temperature chart designed by myself for Three Sisters Creative, our Etsy shop. And I am right about here with the little dirt that comes through. I didn't get a lot of work done on it. I've just started working. It's a part-time job, but you know, it's exhausting. And doctor's appointments and stuff, so I didn't have a lot of time to work on it. That's as much as I've gotten. So basically I did just this last time. So, but any little bit counts, right? Any stitch is stitch in progress. That's what I'm telling myself. And I'm going to stick to that. And then this is designed by Jace or JC Breeze, Temperature Pets. And I'm doing the cat and dog, but I'm doing it in the shape of this one here. And I am almost done with this dog. My son says it looks like a snake. Now, there's not a whole lot of colors. There's, I don't know, less than 10? I don't know, maybe 10. I don't know, it's not a lot. And so the color, the temperatures are more temperatures under that color. So we're getting a lot of the same color. It's not that the temperature was exactly the same. Now, the last couple of days, it was supposed to be in the 60s. It actually was low 70s. And I think today is going to be another example of that. It's supposed to be only 64, but you know. Anyway, Now, for WIPGO, my first call for WIPGO is to do 5 days on the Shepherd. This is by Cottage Garden Samplings. It was from their Snowman series, and this is right side up. Not a huge start from before, but a start. And that's on his coat. So I'm going to do 5 days on that. And that's on Artiste Toast. And then on that same WIPGO number, I think it was 5. Do a new start on Choir Practice by Lindy Stitches. And I'm going to do a floss toss on this fabric. This is from the fabrics that were given to me by Vicki Kemp. Thank you again, Vicki. This is a 32 count fabric. At least we think it's 32. It might be too dark, but I'm going to do a floss toss and see if I can do it on that. My second WIPGO call is from the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. This is 5 days. This is the fall issue, 2020 fall issue. I don't want to show any of the pattern or anything. This is Trick or Treat by, my goodness, Barbara Anna. Astray Mender. Anyway, I'm sorry. Let me put my little marker back in here. This is my start from before. And I'm hoping to finish this as a stand-up. I want to do... I looked again, there's no pattern on this other side, it's just colors. I'm thinking of not doing these flowers, just do this and maybe leave off the word trick or treat. Might put that flower just to make it even, but we'll see. So that's where I am so far. I'm going to give that another 5 days. That takes up 10 days and 11 if you count the new start, because I take 1 day for the new starts. And then the other WIPGO call is, this is the new start to go with that. Hands-on Design, the Stitching Parliament. One of the owls says snips, one says threads, one says specks, and the last one says hoops. I'm going to do these on 11 count Aida, and I'm going to dye the Aida from white to a very pale gray is what I'm thinking. It looks like it's on white, but it's not. It's on antique white, which is an off-white. So, yeah. So I'm going to just do one. I'm going to start on one to begin with. And that is the WIPGO. But that takes up 12 days in February. For 6 days, I'm going to work on Sweet Wings Studio Far Better Things. This is kind of from Narnia, so I keep it in the same idea as Narnia. The lamppost. I think this is done on a 32 count fabric. So, and then the other one, 6 more days on, this is by Cross Stitching for Fun, and this is Art Deco Spring. No, this is summer. Oh, shoot. I think I was looking and I thought I found spring, and I thought I found spring, and it's summer. For some reason it's not in here. Here's winter. Here's fall. Spring is not in the bag. Well, I have it almost all the way done. And I'm going to show you oh, I just found it. It's folded. I don't know why it's folded, but it's folded. I'm thinking I'm just going to do the circular border around and not the square, but I'm not positive. I haven't really sold myself on any. Doing just the circle will work with all 4. This is where I am. So I am almost done with the stitching of the middle part. I have a flower to finish here, a daffodil. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out where I am. So I'm on this flower right here. And then I need to do this one and that one. And that finishes the circle. Excuse me. I absolutely fell in love with this one and the summer one. So I bought all 4 seasons. There's a gazillion colors in every single one. And then the back stitching. All of them lend themselves to having a circle finish. And I'm thinking I need to print this page again. I'm thinking about going ahead and going with a circle finish just because it'll make it different. I might want to frame these and put them up in our craft room. I'm not positive. I love them. I could put them around the house and just change them for the seasons. It would take a long time before I'd have all 4 done. But whatever finish I decide, I need to make sure that I have the tools to do all 4 exactly the same. Oh, I already talked about that. Okay. had this here on my stack of stuff to do. Now, I need new crochet projects like I need a hole in the head, but I came across these, and this was 4 projects for one price. I don't know how you say that. Ishavera mix. I like this one. Kind of like this one. Cactus mix. I might do a barrel cactus. I love the little flowers it has on it. But these are made to crochet with a rather thin yarn, so that they're pretty small when they're made up. About 7 inches, 4 inches on some, 5 inches. So they make up relatively small for the detail that's in them. I'm thinking of using a slightly bigger yarn just to use a bigger hook. These call for a very small hook, but I don't know. And they might not come out the way I'm envisioning. Exotic succulent mix. I really love this one. And this is succulent mix. This is my least favorite one. Were to make any of these, it would be this one. Even though that one looks more difficult, it would be the one that I like the best. And it doesn't have the name of this one. The name of these. Anyway, not on this page. Each of these are like 40 pages long. So I didn't print out the whole page. I'm just going to put them in Knit Companion and read the pattern there digitally. I've used it before for other projects, and I think that's the way I have to go. It's harder to do that for me just because I have to keep my tablet charged, because I also use it a lot for my cross stitch. But it holds your place for you, so it has a little thing you can bring down to hold your place. And also I can get it to tilt up, with the page it's down and they fall over. So that makes it easier. Anyway, those are my plans for February and my current stuff that I'm working on right now. And I think that's everything. And the dogs finally settled down because I moved the toy far away. Anyway, I hope you guys are staying warm, that you're getting lots of stitching done and crafting done during these cold temperatures. Here it's cold for us, but not as cold as predicted. So I hope that that's the way it is other places. It's predicted to be 60s the last couple of days, and it's been 70s. I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt, even though it's too cold to be outside in a short sleeve shirt, but I can be in a long sleeve shirt without a jacket. So the problem is, if I wear a long sleeve shirt, I just get really hot. Probably when I go to work this afternoon, I'll keep on a short sleeve shirt, but put a sweater over so I can take it off when I get hot. Anyway, thanks for listening. I will see you again in February. We live near an airport. It's a smaller airport, but that didn't sound like a passenger plane. It sounded more like a jet. We don't live near an Air Force base. When I was in Belgium, we lived near the air base. Yeah. Anyway, I will see you again in a week, and I hope you are getting all of your January plans finished and getting ready for February. Stay warm, and I'll see you again in February. Thanks.